Marty Clarke has decided not to pursue a new playing contract and will return to his homeland after 3 seasons with Collingwood.
I suppose I've been deliberating over it for a few months now. On my mind. I suppose from the first day I came over here I was always thinking about home, but I made the final decision just right after the season. My mind was nearly made up earlier in the year, but once the boys were out, I just sat down and had a real good think, talked to the people closest to me, and decided that that was it. I would finish it up after the 3 wonderful years I've had here. I suppose the reason it was such a tough decision is because there's 2 positives you have to try and weigh up. It's obviously brilliant being here with all the boys and playing for Collingwood, but I have the lure of home as well with all my family and friends and playing Gaelic football, and I always wanted to be a teacher, and I want to start into that now and just pick up where I left off with wonderful experience here, and I feel as if I want to do that, and I want to do that more than I want to stay here basically, so that's what I'm doing.
Clarke will miss the support of the Collingwood faithful the most.
The fact that every game when you're playing for Collingwood's a big one. There's 22 big games a year plus finals, so it's just a build up to those, and that's your job I suppose, going out and representing the club and playing with the boys, and I'll miss that week to week I suppose, and just all the people. Have been amazing that I've met, and I'll obviously stay in contact with a lot of them and been really lucky to, but I'll miss not working with them on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, in terms of supporters, I've only ever had positive things to do with them. Anywhere I went to do clinics with kids or to supporter days, they've just been positive, asking me about home, really respectful. I hope I've entertained them and they've have good memories of them, and I hope the supporters understand I'm going back just because that's where I've got my life is and that's where I want to be, and I love Collingwood. It's not because I don't want to play for Collingwood, it's just because this means more to me at this stage, and I'd love to thank the supporters for all their help, and I think in a few years they'll be celebrating Premiership success, and they deserve that because they've waited a long time, and just thanks to them all.
Over the course of 3 seasons, Clarke met many people and supporters who gave him a home away from home.
Particularly Derek Hine and his family. Since I first came over here, I lived with them, and when Derek came to my house initially when I got recruited, he told my parents that he would look after me, but I didn't think he had in mind I'd be living with him for 2 years, so he's been the head coach as well, Mick. He's been brilliant, giving me the chance to play and really taught me well, along with a lot of coaches like Alan Richardson, who was here at the time, Brad Scott, and all the coaches like Paul LeCurry and Gavin Brown in more recent years. That's been brilliant, and each and every one of the players.
The 21-year-old will take many black and white memories home with him.
For me it was the final in West Coast in my first year. Went to overtime. It was just over there. It was all West Coast Eagles players, and their supporters were right on the ground and so hostile, and we silenced them in the end with a great win, and everyone played pretty well, and I felt real young in that team. That I was only 19 and everything was new, with Bucks playing, and when Swanee kicked a goal after the siren to seal the game, it was just from brilliant feeling inside, and we flew home that night in the low altitude plane, and everyone was so pumped, and it was a brilliant experience, and that's the one thing out of many that I'll suppose remember most. The main thing I'll take back is that it's a team sport, and Aussie culture in particular, everyone looks after their mates more than anywhere I've ever seen. There's a real strong loyalty, and you feel safety in numbers out there if you're part of a strong team, which Collingwood are, and I'll hopefully try and appreciate that more when I go back and play Gaelic, and let the teammates know that you're not out there alone, and you should never feel like that. And I suppose with Nick Maxwell as your captain, you're never going to feel alone. So it's been that's been the main thing I'll take back to my sport at home.
His flair and passion on the field will sorely be missed by Collingwood supporters